Hello everyone, welcome to Noble Creative Tutorials, and today I will show you how to create fragmented pixel logo animation in Adobe After Effects without using any third-party plugins. And before we start our tutorial, I want to say thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. So if you want to sharpen your skills and take it to the next level, Skillshare is an online learning community for creatives, offering thousands of inspiring classes covering all different types of skills on topics including illustration, photography, logo design, motion graphics, and more. And Skillshare is very affordable subscription, less than $10 per month. And for the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. So join now to have access to all amazing classes. And for the class that I found very useful for you guys is Animating with Ease in After Effects by Jake Bartlett. And in this class you will learn how to use the graph editor so you can control the motion inside of your animations. So make sure to visit Skillshare to unleash your creativity. So as you see here in my comp, I have a logo comp here, just a logo inside and a fractal map. So right here I have fractal noise applied to these layer here, and as you can see here I have basic and blocks it to noise type, transform 100 and complexity to 1, and you can see here the contrast and brightness. Very straightforward and nothing animating here. So we're going to use fractal map with card dance effects, and we have covered before what you can do with card dance effects, so make sure to watch the previous tutorials to see what you can do with it. And so now we are going to assign fractal map to gradient layer, and basically nothing happens. So we are going to Z position here, and right here we have different channels. So we are going to choose here intensity 1. And you can see what happened when we assign intensity 1. So right here we can play with these multiplier here. So we're going to animate these from 0, or let's say from 20, and around 2 seconds we're going to set these to 0. So we're going to have something like that. And you can see here it's coming from both sides of the Z position, and if you want that to come from the camera view, so we can just use the offset here, so maybe 30 right here, and right here I'm going to set these to 0 and easy these keyframes. So let's preview and see how this looks like. So as you can see, very straightforward here. We create this animation. So basically just fragment this logo using card dance effect. So now we're going to pre-compose this and rename these to logo fragments. So let's open these and reveal these in the project here. So we're going to duplicate these, and this is going to be the fragment outlines. And I'm going to pre-compose this logo here. And so this is going to be the logo outlines here to create outlines for these logos. So just duplicate this one here and use Alpha Invert Matte and apply sample choker on this one here. So we can just see here the outlines as you can see here. So we can apply here fill. And let's make it white. And so now we have the logo outlines. So we're going to open the fragment outlines here and just replace it with the logo outlines we just created. So now we have the same animation on these fragment outlines here. So we're going to duplicate this one, and this is going to be dots. And doing the same thing here, creating logo dots here. So for this one, I'm going to apply Venetian blinds here. And let's set these to 90 and 45 degree, duplicating that. And so now we have two duplicates to create these. If we want to have a bigger dots, we can use minimax here, set these to 1, color and alpha here, so you can see we got a square looking dots there, so you can just play with these as you can see. So I'm just going to keep it as it is here, and then we can use fill to make these white as well. So basically you can duplicate these, and for example if you want to create some different looks here, basically if you want to have something look complicated and stuff. So we're just going to keep these as it is for now. And so doing the same thing here, we're going to open the fragment dots and just replace the logo dots here. So now we have the same animations on all of these. So going back to the main comp here, so right here I have this one right here. So I want to add another fragments after this animation ends. So right here I have Fractal Map animation. So basically it's the same map we created. We just animate these brightness right here from black to white and add evolution here using time animation to have these very straightforward animation here. You can see the settings are the same here. Make sure we have the same scale. So if you use different scale, make sure you have it on this one as well. So I'm going to drag these fractal map here and use these as Luma maps, and I want that to start around there. So once this animation finished, I want these to start. So let's preview and see how this looks like. So as you can see, we got a nice animation here. So now I'm going to duplicate these 3 times. Let's change here the colors. And so now I'm going to replace these with outlines and logo fragments with fragments dots and just stagger these here. So we have outlines and dots, and then this one, going to apply fill to the logo here and have it white. And at the end, we are going to stagger these just like this. So we are having a nice reveal in here. So let's preview this. So as you see, we got pretty cool animation here. So now we can actually reveal the actual logo here. So let's drag the logo comp right here and let's have it just right there. We can use the fractal map animation with it as well. So we can use these as Luma invariant map as well, or use it as Luma here. So you can see now we have the logo revealed. Very nice, pretty cool. Or we can actually use, let's just disable these. We can use card wipe effect, which is pretty cool as well, to create some cool animation here. So we can animate these from 0 to 100. As you can see here, or we can actually use them both here, which is pretty cool as well. So let's preview and see how this looks like. That's look pretty cool. So it's just up to you. So let's just leave it without card dance effects here, and we can actually apply here a glow to these outlines here. Let's duplicate these Have some nice glow here. Just copy these and use it on dots as well. That's look pretty cool. So now we can actually add some cool elements here. So right here I have fractal elements. So quickly I'm going to show you how to create these. So basically here we have some elements, as you can see here, with the fractal we created. So the idea here, let's just go step by step. So here we have the fractal that we created before, animating here from black to white. And then right here I have shape layer. So basically here I have the shape layer. So let's just start right here so we can see well. So right here I have different groups here of these shape layers. So here I have the shape inside these block here. As you can see, just creating the shape and then using a repeater here. So manually I just offset these on repeater here. Just few duplicate and apply position here to get them right inside the blocks, and then doing the same thing here, another repeater to repeat that on the y-axis. You can see here, very straightforward, and adding animation scale to the whole shape. So duplicating these basically and having these applied with track mat here, so you can see how many we have, and just using this fractal map here just to create variations on this. So as you can see here, you can invert this and just play with these brightness and contrast stuff. So duplicating that to have different shapes here. So as you can see here, just using different variation of the fractal here to have different spots of these elements. And basically then we have these on top. So we want these to have transparency. So with these, we don't have any transparency here. So we want to add transparency there. So here we have the animation of these fractal here from white to white, just like these. Just animating here brightness and evolution, as you can see, 650 on the brightness, and then going back to 300 and then 600. And then we use blending mode to have silhouette luma. So now we have transparency on this just to get these parts with different elements here. Very straightforward here, nothing actually complicated, as you can see. So just repeating stuff. So now we're going to use this fractal map right here as well, just to create some cool stuff here. So let's have a new solid. This is going to be mask, and we're going to mask the logo part here, and using these as alpha here. As you can see here, we got these elements pop up right there. So let's preview to see how this looks like. So as you see, the animation look pretty cool. So now we can add just few stuff here to make things look very interesting. So let's create a new camera here, and let's make these 3D. And we're just going to animate here the camera to add some secondary animation here. So let's zoom these a little bit here and make these easy ease. So you can actually make things, create a new camera orbit here and start doing some cool stuff to the animation as it's animating there. So it just up to what you can do. So we're just going to keep things very simple here. So and now we have these animation. We want to add depth of field, just fake one here. So I'm just going to add a few keyframes here, blur level, aperture, and focus distance, and then just animate that to get us a nice fake depth of field. So let's preview and see how this looks like. Okay, that's look pretty cool. So now we can just pre-compose all of these here and rename these to fragments animation and hit OK. So now we have these fragments animation comp, and so now we're going to add a new adjustment layer, and this is going to be Chroma effects to create chromatic aberration. So we're going to use 3D glasses here to create some fake chromatic aberration. And as you see, once you apply this, nothing you can see here. So we're going to assign fragments animations here, this comp, and we're going to choose here balance red and green. And so here we are going to animate these vertical and scene convergence here around there. Going to add keyframes and right there 5 -5, and then we're going to animate here the opacity as well. So we want that to go from 100 to 0, and we're going to choose add on blending mode. So we're going to have something like this. You can switch between 3D view here, and because we have everything in white, we need to add some colors here. So outlines, we're going to add fill here. Let's go for something like this. Just copy these and add it to dots as well. And we're going to make these add as well, so we don't have this problem right there. So now we can have some really nice chromatic aberrations right there. Okay, so let's duplicate these and make sure to just make opacity 100, and this is going to be optic compensation. So let's remove this one and add optics compensation here. And so we're going to animate these as well from 150 reverse lens, and around there we want these to be at 0. So we're going to have something like this, as you can see here, very straightforward. And then I'm going to duplicate these, and this is going to be distortion effects. So this one, we just want maybe right here, this part here, just a few frames to distort these. So let's just add a keyframe right there, maybe 130. So each keyframe we are going to add a random value here. And we're going to add transform, and also here going to randomize scale value on each frame. We can just adjust that with the field of view as well, just to get a random distortion here. Okay, so right here we have these distortion effects, and we're going to add invert right here to invert these colors on these. So maybe here choose this one here, and we're going to add find edges and invert that with these blending to 50%, adding noise effect here. It is 100, and we don't need to use colors, maybe just 50 here. So as you can see, we got really cool effects. So we can just switch between different channels here. And just duplicate these, and this one is going to be with the elements show up, so around there. And then we can just randomize the keyframes here and duplicate the keyframes, maybe make it a little bit longer here. So you can just adjust here the effects to make it look a little bit different distortion. So let's preview and see how this looks like. So as you see guys, the animation looked pretty cool. So now we can just do a few adjustments here. So first, we need to make sure the final look of the logo looks just as it should be. So right here we have add on these actually affecting this one. So we can just put these blending modes to normal and it's affecting things. So it just depends on how we want things to look. And right here you can see we don't have outlines and dots right here. So we can just open these and start offsetting this one here to get a few dots and outlines here, which is pretty cool. And right here now we have them on this distortion, as you can see, which add a nice effects there. Okay, so and now basically we can just duplicate these and let's add CC radial fast blur here. Set this to 90 and we want to animate these. So we have a nice animation here. And let's lower opacity here and have another duplicate here. So this one we're just going to use fast box blur here. Set these to 50 repeat edges and just lower these, and these three we're going to set it to add. So right here we have something like that, and maybe right here you can see we got these problem here. So right here maybe we need to get more scale. And we can animate here the radial as well, getting this to 20 right there. Easy ease that. So now we have something like this. Let's make sure everything looks fine. Okay, we have right here, we need to make these just 100. So now let's preview and see how this looks like. So as you see guys, things look pretty cool. So now we can just add the final touches here to make things look even interesting. And I'm going quickly to show you how and show you some tips and tricks as well. So let's just pre-compose all of these and rename these to logo animation. And so right here, I'm just going to copy here the background and color correction. So here I just have this background, just opacity animation here. And by adding these, now you can see what we got here. So this is with our background because it got transparency on these. So you can just add any backgrounds here. And with color correction, things will look really cool and interesting the way you would correct it. So you can just add trade tones, curve, sharpen, and noise. So in this one here, I'm going to show you this example here. So as you see guys, right here, we just add some sound effects to make it sound really good. And we can here add some cinematic flares. So basically just comp here with these flares right here. As you can see, very straightforward. So just pre-compose these flares and add it here, and you can see here things look pretty cool with the lens flares we added here. And another thing I want to show you here is that on this example here, let's go to this one here. So right here you can have a different camera animation as well. So let's preview this. The same technique here, just animating here the camera differently, as you can see, with nulls and stuff. Getting a nice animation and using here cinematic flares as well. And right here, we actually have apply displacement map on this logo fragment here. So we have few displacement map animations just to add some distortions to these layer and adding different grids, as you can see here. And of course we can use a Vegas effect to create some animations. For example here, using these animations using Vegas effect on these logos. So just having Vegas effect here. The same thing for outlines here. If you want to add some animations here, as you can see, we're just having these basically inside here. Vegas applied right here, animating that to create some really nice animations with the logo. And we have dots logo, I believe, right here. Yeah, show that, this one here. So it's basically the same thing, just building out differently things. So I think it is in this comp right here. And animation of these Vegas outlines animated as well. So we can just keep building up things to make it look really interesting. So that's it guys. Hope you find this tutorial very useful for you as always. And if you have any questions, just comment and I will do my best to be responsive. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorials coming soon. And thank you for watching.